Look at the sir.
Sir, what's going on?
Man, what's going on, man? We back.
We're back.
We're back, man.
Yeah.
We're back, but I think in different stages of life at this point, right? Where you have become a free man and I'm about to go into lockdown.
Oh.
Right? So,
you can give a little insight into what you mean?
So you just finished the season of youth football.
Coaching. I'm actually looking forward to a little break here. It's sadly like beautiful at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's sad because I'm like, man, I don't get to go out there.
Right.
Don't get to run out there with the kids and do it again. But like the adult in me is like, I get a break now.
Right.
Yeah.
And whereas I'm about to prep into that for actually an extended season.
Mm-hmm.
My season's about to go 4 months, man. 4 months of just basketball. I mean, but I love it. That's my passion. Yeah. I can't wait to drive these kids into the ground and really push their limits and see what they're made of and help them challenge themselves. So, heads up, kids.
I mean, listen, they're going to be learning the RBA way.
That's right. There is no other way with me, at least.
Yeah.
Or with us.
And I can't say that, I can't say with 100% certainty that I'm not going to be coaching something this winter.
Okay.
I don't plan to.
However,
So the plan is to do track, which I can't. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not qualified in any way, shape, or form. Literally.
Okay.
To do anything with track. That's just for him to try it out and see how it works. I think he'll be good in like short distance.
Yeah. Sprints.
100 meter, 200 meter.
Little mini Usain Bolt over here.
I mean, I think he'll be good in those, but no, I'm gonna sign him up for a basketball. Couldn't get out to yours. It's just too far away. But I'm gonna sign him up for another one. And if it comes down to like they're desperately needing a coach, I can't say that I would be like, no, I'm not coaching. However, it's not the plan. The plan is like I want to just be a spectator for one season.
No, I don't blame you.
Because I was just going for 4 months between the basketball that we did. Actually, longer than that because I had flag that started in April. So I've been coaching since April straight.
Woo.
Straight because I had March. I had flag March through June. Basketball in July, late June, July with you.
Yeah.
And then straight into football.
Wow.
And I've been doing football since. I've been going.
Hey, man,
I've been running hard.
So you deserve a break.
I've been running hard in them coaching streets.
A well-earned break, though.
Hopefully.
A well-earned break. So, sir, today's episode about fandoms. Fandoms and just our love as a society for our team sports. Whether it's youth football, youth basketball, it's professional sports, it's college sports. Us as a society, as a civilization, and just as a globe, everybody who has a sports team just is usually a diehard sports fan, loves their team, bleeds whatever color it is that team represents. And we have these emotional attachments to and these identities that we, even though the team may not know of us, but we breathe and die by every action this team makes. Now, the team doesn't consult us on any of their decisions, although we have opinions, very strong ones, some which we enjoy people react on IG about, right? Breaking TVs, smashing things for no good God reason. They were not going to reimburse for them. However, we love our sports and we love our teams and we'll die by it. And we may even hurt others in a stadium based on what they said to our team.
Bro, that's the part that's getting crazy. So out of hand.
It is.
So out of hand.
It is.
That's, I'm sure we'll get into it at some point, but that's like the way too deep. Way too deep.
Right.
It's not that deep.
When it comes to that degree, we'll get to it, but you're correct. That is too deep at that point. So let's start at the top, though. Let's start at the surface level before we go deep. Sir, you as a fan, and ever since I known you, you have been a die-hard Atlanta sports fan. All teams Atlanta, doesn't matter what it is. almost all teams, right? Not Georgia Tech, but Georgia.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, every professional Atlanta team, you are a diehard fan. And I've lived through you. I've learned
You've lived the pain through me?
I've lived pain, anxiety, happiness, sadness, all that through you. Because just to put it out there, I don't have any loyalty to any sports team per se. I come from an area, and sure, by osmosis, I guess, I'll take one of them. But he said osmosis. But you have a specific love for Atlanta sports. Now, my question to you is, how did you come about? Where did this come from? What led to your devout faith or love and loyalty towards Atlanta sports?
So, as a youngster growing up in Atlanta, no, I'm just kidding. I wish.
In West Philadelphia.
It is odd because when somebody will ask me oh yeah, you're a fan of Atlanta sports. Did you grow up there? No. Well, where'd you grow up? Pennsylvania. There's a pause where I get a look. The math is not mathing.
It's not
mathing
right.
on this. But for me, it was a staggered approach because so I played youth football. My team was not the Falcons.
Okay.
We were the East Annis Rams.
Okay.
So we had the old school Rams helmets, the blue and gold.
Nice.
But just wasn't a fan of them. And then, I have a lot of family in the Pennsylvania area. They're Steelers fans. My dad was a Green Bay fan and just, random. There were a couple, when I was young, before I really got into football, I cheered for other teams. I liked the Jaguars because they had a cool, logo when they first came out. I liked the Titans a little bit. Some of the expansion teams I kind of got behind.
Okay.
Maybe I'm the underdogs. I don't know. But it wasn't until I really, really got into football because I would only watch Super Bowl. I would never watch
no playoffs, nothing.
No,
wow.
It was always just we would watch Super Bowl and that was it. So it wasn't until I really started liking football that I was let me see, and even that started slow because I really liked '98 Dirty Birds.
Oh,
right, and then winning that game in Minnesota to get to the Super Bowl. So that Super Bowl, I was not only do I like this team, I like the colors, the red and the black. I like the Dirty Bird. I like all of it. So okay, this is cool. And then the next season, I'm still not watching regularly. They suck again. A couple years go by. But I still consider myself I like that team. I can get behind them. They're fun and exciting. You know what I mean? That's the way I looked at it. Is they were to me a fun, exciting team.
Okay.
And then a couple years later, now they got Vic. And that was the game changer.
That's it.
That was the game changer. I mean, I was a fan already, but that solidified it. That this is going to be my team moving forward because he was electrifying.
Oh, dude, he was
coming out of
he was
Virginia
must watch
Tech.
TV.
Hey, he was everything. And so then that was 2001. I graduated 2004. Go to freshman year college. Playing Madden in the dorms. Madden 2004
right.
was the Vic year.
Big,
you just that just solidified everything. It was more fun when my he wasn't my roommate. He was my roommate in later years, but he lived right across from me freshman year, and then he was my roommate in later years. But he was Bucks fan. So then we got to do the trash talking it was just, and we still to this day, really he and I still I didn't text him today, but we still do the trash talking.
Okay.
But so it just made it more fun. And then as I started to get into basketball, got into the same thing. They had Josh Smith, a young Josh Smith, Highlight Factory, the Duncan. They had Josh Childress at the time. They had some young athletic wings that they were building. And then what's funny on the Hawks side is I remember watching the playoffs. I forget what year it was, but it was Phoenix was in there. This is back in the 12 seconds or less or whatever offense. They were doing what the league does now with the 3 ball. right? With Nash and them.
Right.
And
the D'Antoni offense.
And I remember watching this playoff series, and it may have been against the Spurs or Dallas. I can't remember if it was one of those two. And there was this dude with a mask on, looking like Phantom of the Opera. But he just killing them, just cooking the threes. And I was like, and he playing with a mask on too? Because he like fractured his eye or orbital bone or something like that. Well, turns out that guy was Joe Johnson, who next season went to Atlanta. So like that just like solidified now, like, okay, Atlanta's gonna be my team. Because I was around the 2004, 5-ish range. So I was already a fan, but then I was like, oh, I really like this player. And then he went to my team. And so everything just kind of snowballed from there. I always like the Braves too. I'm not a big, huge baseball fan, but I adopted the Braves because why not?
Why not? Right.
Why not?
Okay, so Vic and ISO Joe.
I don't see. I see Vic solidified it, but again, there was the Dirty Birds, man. Okay. Because without it, I don't know that I would have
picked the Hawks.
I don't know. I don't think the Vic thing would have been as big for me if I didn't have the Dirty Birds first. Dirty Birds. That drew me in.
Got it. Okay.
And made me like them.
I see.
But then they kind of went back down a little bit, and then it.
So you're a purebred fan. You're not a player. That helped it, but
I don't think that I'm a purebred, because purebred is like I was born there, raised there. You know what I mean? Like them from when, like, so Dylan will be like more of a purebred. Like it's the only team he's ever liked. He hates every other team. But he's not
from there though, so that would be
his whole story is gonna be like, I've never liked any other teams. Like from the day I can remember, it was me and my dad watching Falcons games, right? So he's gonna be more purebred than me.
Got it. So you kind of gradually went to it. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you, what is the biggest extreme you have gone for, or gone at lengths for your team? What's the most extreme thing you've done for your team, or in support of your team? And two, are you willing to go above and beyond that? Whatever that is.
So my biggest extreme, you talking about like financially?
The floor is yours. Extreme is open.
So I don't think like I do anything crazy extreme.
Streaking through the field.
Listen, bro, nobody want to see that. Nobody want to see that. No, and like, you know, like you think about, I think when you say extreme, I think about like the Bills Mafia and jumping on the tables.
Yeah, crazy stuff like
no, nothing like
painting
that.
yourself and nothing crazy like that.
No. Okay, but I mean, some people might. So I got a trip coming up to the A after.
No, but this is now though. But what about like as you were growing up? Anything that you can recall? Like, man, that was crazy.
No, I think the craziest thing is just having what some people would say, people like you might say, is just having your emotions tied to the to whether they do well or not.
Okay. Wow. So now that I know the origin of the path that's going to lead you down future sports fandom depression, this is what
there's been a lot of that.
And I my condolences to all Atlanta fans, or at least Falcons fans. But my reason for asking the extreme part was fans go crazy. Like I've seen fans do some bizarre things, right? Like jumping on tail, Bills Mafia, all that. But as you spoke on earlier, fans go at lengths where the police have to get involved.
Yeah, no.
Like, have you been not part of that, but have you witnessed that being around? Like,
no, not at all. Okay. I'm actually I've been to, so at least I was in one tough environment. So the first Falcons game I ever went to, my pops had bought me a ticket when I was in college, and you know we didn't come from a whole lot, so it was a lot just to get that one ticket. He couldn't even get 2 tickets because he had splurged for the for me to be on the what's it called, the concourse, with the nice carpets on the floor, like food and beverages. He splurged a little bit. That was like a college gift for me.
Man, that's a big deal for a college kid.
And so I went by myself, drove my little beat up car into Baltimore.
Ooh, by myself. The Ravens.
To the Ravens. walking around with my Falcons shirt, jersey on and everything, my beanie and all that. In the stadium, I was probably the only Falcons fan in my little section. Everybody was cool.
Okay.
Everybody was cool as hell.
That's awesome.
Walking back to and from, you got the tailgaters.
Yeah.
Everybody drunk. Got people yelling things.
Okay.
But that was like the extent of it, was just yelling things. But I had enough like decent people around that were like, don't mind them. The people in the stadium are cool. That was the chance I got to see Vic play.
Nice.
2006 against Baltimore. We lost, but it was definitely a cool experience. So I didn't get.
That's the Ray Lewis.
No. That was
Legion of Boom. No.
Before no. Ray was still there. Yeah. Ray was still there. Yeah.
Ed Reed and all that.
But this wasn't the year. I thought you were gonna say that was the year that Ray heard them, but no.
No.
That was early.
They were playing. You got to see all of them play.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was. I don't remember specifically if anybody was injured that day or not, but I do remember Vic was there, but and playing. It was cool. It was cool, and everybody in the section was cool. You know, as Baltimore was beating us, they were ragging on me, but in a fun way. So I never saw that, like the videos that we see now with
the Raiders fans,
the people like just duking it out. Like, I didn't get to witness any of that.
Good. I'm glad you did it, because that's little going over the top. Now, I'm glad you mentioned tailgating, the to and from, because sports teams bring together these communities of people who would more than likely never get to know each other, and sports brings them together. Right, it's beautiful. Like even some of the friends we've made, some of them came off the court, just meeting up, and they were randoms at once, and now we call them friends today. So similarly, tailgating, it's a thing. It's a big ritual. It's a very sacred ritual. In many spaces. Now, I ask you this from rituals. Do you have any specific rituals as an Atlanta sports fan? Games coming on. What am I gonna like my favorite seat, my favorite jersey, like don't bother me this time to this time. Like, what are your rituals? Because I know some I've experienced through you. Yeah. But do you have anything beyond that? Like, what can you tell us?
So tailgating aside, because obviously if I were in Atlanta, season tickets, tailgating, it would be the whole nine. Ooh. But I don't have that luxury, so I can only do that if I get the opportunity to go to a game. On the regular though, it's well known on Sundays in my household where I'm gonna be on Sunday. Okay. Like, we can't schedule anything between 1 and 8 p.m. Like 7 hours blocked, bruh. 7 hours, commercial free football, NFL Red Zone. Like, I'm gonna have it on. And then because we don't get the Falcons games here, locally, then I'll follow through with Red Zone. I'll follow on my phone, keep up with what's happening play by play. But like the tradition, like everybody knows, like whatever we got to do as a family, we got to do on Saturday. Cause when Sunday comes, it's football. Like, yeah, you could be like, hey bro, we're going to go get a basketball session in. You want to bring Dylan play against? No, not if it's our bye week. I might be more willing to give up football for that week, but I'm not. Wow. I'm not giving up football for that week. So whatever has to be done
outside those hours,
like especially when the kids were younger and they required more, handling than they do now. Like, I used to be like, all right, I'll take Saturday. You can do whatever you want to do throughout the day. I'll take Saturday because I want Sunday for football. Like, that's it. And then my other thing is, like, I gotta have wings, man. Gotta
have wings. Yeah. Wings and football
every Saturday,
and leave me
every Sunday
hell alone. Right?
That's all I need.
Wow.
Just some wings, occasional pizza in there, but like that's the routine.
Now, what if you can't follow the routine? What are is there superstitions behind? If I don't follow the routine, I led our team to whatever situation happened.
I think I've got beyond that because I've just experienced enough like disappointment that I know that it does. I don't think it matters what I do.
The word disappointment.
Like I mean, you've seen it over the years. Enough, how many games that I've dealt with that come down to like down to the wire all the time. Bro. All the time. Bro. And to the point where I remember one time you asked me, like, how does your heart withstand the trauma of like every game? Like, you know what I mean? And it just happened today. Like, when you talk about fandom, bro, I didn't want to come here tonight. Like, I was so pissed off today. I didn't want to come here tonight. I did not want to. If it wasn't for the fact, like, if we had pre-recorded another episode and we were good to like release something else this week, I wouldn't have come.
I'm glad to get you here with these emotions. Like
I was pissed because we play a team that, first of all, and we play Minnesota. I don't know. You probably don't even know what happened. We played Minnesota. Kirk Cousins just got hurt last week, out for the season. Justin Jefferson's been on injured reserve. They are starting their 6th-round rookie. He gets hurt on the first drive. He at the goal line. We stopped him at the goal line, but our corner hit him, knocked him out of the game. So it was 3-3 at that point, right? And then they had Josh Dobbs, who we both know from our previous foray into stocks, that he was behind his company that we invested in. Yep. So who knew Josh Dobbs would come around and break my heart all these years later? But he comes into the game. They signed him Wednesday. Okay. Because he was with the Cardinals. They traded him right at the deadline on Tuesday. Right? He was with Arizona. He started the season with Cleveland. Okay. Got traded to Arizona. Played 5-6 games with Arizona. 6 games with Arizona. And then they traded him at the deadline to Minnesota once Kirk got hurt. So he got traded on Tuesday, flew on a Wednesday, didn't even get any snaps with the team, doesn't know these guys' names for nothing, and comes in and has over 200-some yards total, between like 66 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Should have been a fairly easy enough game.
22 seconds left, game-winning touchdown.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, like RBA, I guess.
No, I mean, no. So like I've experienced enough of that to know it doesn't matter what shirt I wear or, but
I see.
I will say this, that it causes internal pain if I were to legitimately have to miss a game.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like if I really had something I had to do no matter what, and I couldn't get around it, like it hurts. Like it causes me internal anxiety.
So what I've noticed,
I got one. So last week when we played, I had to take D to a birthday party. Okay. And the birthday party, I had to drop him off in DC, in Georgetown, at the movie theater. You know what AMC is?
Yep, M Street.
Down on the water. Yep. You know how busy that area is now because they built that shit up, right? So I had to drop him off at the AMC. So I had to find somewhere to park. You know how that is.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Find somewhere to park just to take him in, drop him off, and leave. Right. Oh, I had to be there at between 12 and 12:30. Game started at 1 o'clock. Ooh. So I just got back about like 1:15. Had to pick him up by 3:20ish, 3:30. So we literally just got home just to watch the end of the game. Like just barely made it. God. So I got to watch most of it, but like I was. In the fourth quarter, I was like sweating. Like, please don't let there be traffic on 66. Please don't let there traffic be on 66, so I can get home to watch the fourth quarter. Like, yeah, wow. That's where my mind is. Said nothing about. I don't care about the birthday party. My mind is like, I gotta be there to watch the game. So that's how.
So what I've noticed about you, and correct me if I'm wrong here, like if you're not able to watch, you're constantly updating your phone, keeping up with second by second. Oh yeah, you're so locked into that. Mm-hmm. And I've seen it. I'm like, he's not even here right now. Like let's let him be. Yeah. He's in his own red zone.
Yeah. When I was driving to and from, I had red zone playing on my phone. I'm obviously not watching it, but I had it playing through the speaker so I could at least listen to.
Wow. That's a true fan right there. That's a true fan.
Got to. Wow. It causes anxiety if I miss a game.
Wow, man, I can't say I envy it, but I will say I admire,
respect it.
I admire,
respect it.
The fandoms and the loyalty to your team, no matter whatever happens in life. Mm-hmm. That's.
And I think so. For me, I don't know if you were going to get there, and so I apologize, but I think football and basketball have a different effect.
Okay.
Right. So because football, there's so many. It's just limited the number of games that you can actually watch. Right. Like you only get 17
games. Yep.
Before it was 16. Like you only get so many times to see them.
Right.
And then the off season is so long.
Right.
So like it's like, and even this short period of time, I have to cherish it.
Right. And the games are a week apart, not like this multiple back.
Right. So whereas like I'm not doing the same thing if I miss a Hawks game.
Right. It's 82 or 83.
For the Hawks, I'm like, I just want to make sure I watch the national TV games, the few that we get, because we're wildly disrespected. But the few that we get, like I want to watch those national TV games, but also know that like we should be in the playoffs. So I'm kind of waiting for that.
Right. And like get most to the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas like with the Falcons, I'm like, it's a little harder to get to the playoffs. Right. There's no play-in like they have there. I mean, they've expanded it out by a team, and, but still, like, football is just different in that way. And
with football is that a player may get injured and you may not see him again for however long, right? So yeah.
So football and basketball are different. Baseball, like I just can't.
That's a
very
lot,
rarely can I watch regular season games. Okay. But when it comes to the postseason, I'm watching. Locked in, and then. So I want to watch, but then again, so like this, what happened this year was I was coaching, and so I missed most of the games. The one that I was able to get into, we won, and then we lost. So I'm like, a little superstition there. Yeah. Like, what if?
Yeah, what if?
What if?
Yeah.
But that hurt too. I mean, again, more disappointment.
So the key word I'm taking away from Atlanta sports is...
But I can't like completely, because the Braves did win a title.
They did
recently.
They did.
UGA has won 2 titles and just been consistently good for the last, 5-6 years now.
That's true.
So, like, undefeated
but
right now.
More so popular. When I say popular, I don't mean baseball's not popular. Yeah. What I meant is professional level popular sports that more fans tune, I would say, into.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those
SEC
teams are not really.
SEC football is up there.
It is, but when I say professional, that's what I meant.
Quasi-professional now with NIL.
The Falcons and the Hawks really are
I don't know. There might be some more people that like SEC football.
I don't blame them.
Than some professional sports.
Because the word disappointment doesn't come attached.
I said professional sports, not Atlanta. There are some that only like college football.
That's true. I know.
Because of some of the business side of professional sports.
Well, there's a business side of college too. It's a lot of dirty business that's happening on the college side as well. But no. So I really admire again the way. No matter how many downs there are, what did Dwayne Wade say? Fall down 10, get up 11, or something like that. Fall down 11. But that is the story.
I've done that. I've fallen down and gotten up so many times. You think I'd be in shape by now? Like, bro. Like the number of downs, like it's crazy. Like we'll go and have a good game, and then the next one you think like, oh, this is a one you should win. Like today, like
right.
This is a game at home that you should win. There's no reason not to win. And there we go.
But that's typical of Atlanta sports. What I'm saying historically, that's typical of Falcons at least.
Sure.
So I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'll say I'm sorry. From a person who does not have any loyalty to a specific team, my condolences to Atlanta fans. Now, let me give you the origin of, if I may, of why I'm not.
Okay.
Why I don't have loyalty. And I know you guys always rag on me about, you can't talk if you ain't got a team and all that. But I'll tell you why I don't have a team. As I was growing up through my, youthful era phase, I had a friend who was or a few friends who were so diehard like you into their teams. And unfortunately for them, they picked the wrong team. Because where we come from, there are 2 teams. The cities has 2 teams, right? The New York, New Jersey area. You have your Jets and you have your Giants. And this is back, I would say, 25-ish, 30 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, this is early.
So this is the 90s?
The 2K era.
Okay. The early 2K.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2K.
Early 2K, okay. Right? That or the mid 90s and the Jets were the Jets.
Well, they've kind of been the Jets ever since.
Correct. So, and he was so diehard into the Jets that after every loss, L. Anytime we made plans, anytime we decided to do something, it would automatically be canceled based on the result of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there told me, nah, bro.
I can relate.
I am not I will not subject myself to that type of. Now I'm gonna say a word here, which is probably gonna bring me heat, but I don't really care. That type of fallacy or this imbecility of changing your life over the result of a game I don't control. If I don't control the outcome of this, I can't let it impact my life in a way where it impacts other parts of my life. That just, no. It's just not going to happen. And because he did it so many times, and it would totally throw our plans off, because he was also our ride, that put like this thing in me, like, no, I will never subject myself to that. And hence, I will enjoy a sport, an athlete, a player, a game, any team, doesn't matter to me. If it's good, competitive, high level performance, I'm in. I'm locked in.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Follow up?
Yeah.
So did you ever consider a middle ground in that, and where you could still have a team, but not go as extreme as he did, right? So you could still like the team, you could still cheer for the team, but not get so emotionally invested that you let it change your daily outcome whenever something happens negatively?
I thought about that. But what I did, though, I directed that energy towards always trying to root for the underdog in whatever it was. And I found myself at moments getting emotionally invested in that underdog. But I never wanted to get to the point where it became, I have this like undying loyalty towards a team that doesn't even know I exist. It does matter. It doesn't because I'm spending my hard-earned cash, cold hard cash towards an entity that has no idea I exist. None whatsoever. And then the outcome of that result that I can't even control, just because you made a pick in the first round, second pound that I didn't like, and I'm going to lose my ish over that? Nah, bro. It ain't that deep. It's not that deep.
Well, I don't think there's...
because people get... Like, remember when Porzingis got drafted?
Yeah. Oh,
New York lost their...
Knicks fans.
Knicks
Talk
fans,
about highly emotionally invested, yeah.
They, like, lost their... So, I can't get to that. Like, the whole Trae Young thing, right? If Trae Young, after the game, like, they're so, like... You could feel the anger through the video. Nah, bro, it ain't that deep. Because, again, I can't control that. I don't control that. When we go play at 4 Mile... I control that outcome or have input in it. Yes, I can get upset now because the result wasn't to my liking, or it was to my liking. But if it's something I'm watching on TV, flipping channels, and I get zero, like me getting mad or yelling at a TV, it's not going to yell back at me. It's not going to say, oh, hold on, Hak, let me listen to you and change my play here. What do we all say? The coach is an idiot. Should have done this. Guess what? He's the coach. You're not.
I mean, I think there's probably a middle ground in there. I think
it is.
For me, like there's.
I'll give you an example of middle ground.
Okay, go ahead.
When LeBron was trying to get a chip, right? He failed. This is when he went back to Cleveland. He lost to the Warriors. I was pro LeBron winning a chip all the way through. Not even so much in Miami. But when he went back to Cleveland, I was in favor of LeBron winning a chip. And I could feel myself getting like emotionally invested, like started disliking like Golden State. Whereas I should have enjoyed it. So I didn't want to get to that point where it now just becomes a consistent, everlasting, forever thing. And now I'm stuck. Nah, I want to enjoy great basketball. I'm glad LeBron won. Because he was the Cavs were the underdogs at that point again, so I'm always rooting for the underdog.
So I think people naturally, most people, because I know you don't subscribe, put yourself in any box, and obviously don't fit in this box. But like, I think a lot of people naturally look for that sense of community and belonging, and that they're able to get emotionally invested because, like, I don't ever think of like, oh, the Falcons, they don't know who I am. Like, that doesn't even. There's not even a thought in my mind. Right. You know what I mean? Like, but what I do know is knowing that I'm going to go down there. Like, I could reach out to some people that I know, find a tailgate.
Sure, yeah.
That me and Dylan go to, and I'm going to be around a whole bunch of people that I've never met before from different walks of life.
Right.
That we all share this one thing in common, and we can sit and have in-depth conversations.
Right.
And just like any other dysfunctional family, there's always arguments, even within the fan base. Of course. Right? Some people like Taylor Heineke. Some people like Desmond Ritter. A whole argument about that. Right. Some people like the coach. Some people don't like the coach. But at the end of the day, we all like the team. We all like the team.
You all are towards a common goal of...
Correct. We all are just dying for our team to win that championship. And we all share that collective passion. And that's where the difference is. It's not about whether the team knows us, the players know us. Okay. It doesn't matter. It's the experience of it. And just to show that, right? Like, I'm going to drop some, I don't want to say substantial money, but like decent money.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure, yeah.
Plane tickets, hotels, multiple things that I can't say just in case Dylan listens to this. Yeah. But like, multiple things are going to happen like when we're there. Really good tickets for the game. Like, second row on the field, Falcon sideline tickets. But it's for the experience of it.
Sure.
And the Falcons don't know I'm coming. Sure. As an organization.
That's fine.
They don't even know about the tickets. I'm bought through Ticketmaster resale. So, like, they don't even know that I bought the tickets.
No, that's fine.
But it's the experience. And now that me and my son will have this experience that we're going to remember for a lifetime. I remember the first game that I went to, 2012. So this is talk about big picture. November 2012. I went down there for a game. Same thing. Plane tickets. Thankfully, I had somebody I was able to stay with because we no kids at the time. Whatever. I was able to stay with somebody, so that helped to ease the costs. Really great tickets. Had a great experience. Falcons beat the Saints. Picked Drew Brees off like 5 times. Like, it's we ended his his streak of like the longest amount of time, longest number of passes before he had thrown no interceptions. Okay. Like, broke that streak. Got to be a part of a moment. Yep. Right. Yep. Got to be in the old Georgia Dome. Right. So, like, things that I remember. Then coming back a couple weeks later, I find out that, Dylan is going to be born. So, like, but like, all of that is part of a memory now. Absolutely. That's etched into my mind.
And that's wonderful. And I'm all for that. I'm all for attending an event. Sure. Attend the event. But I'm not for losing my mind or going up through an emotional roller coaster based on the outcome that I have zero ability to impact.
You were there. We don't need to talk about it in depth. We don't need to go there in depth, but you were there. You were there. That's all I gotta say. You were there. You know what I'm talking about. So you were there.
So I'm glad you brought this up.
So you have to understand the emotional roller coaster.
So I'm glad you brought this up because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, enough time has passed. Where the scar remains, but the wound has healed.
No, the wound is not healed.
That's a bar, right? That's the bar we saw.
That the wound is...
The scar is there, though. The wound isn't healed.
The wound is not healed.
Still not healed? Wow. How many years has it been?
It doesn't matter. Like, I don't think the wound will ever heal.
But I do want to, without going too deep into that, all like the actual game itself, but the emotional roller coaster. And I remember we were all having a good time, right? It was all...
It was 28-3.
It was
28-3. It was a great time until it wasn't. And like, so, but again, like it's just, you're emotionally invested in wanting to be part of, in any way, shape, or form, even
Absolutely.
if I'm not physically there. Me and my fandom are a part of this championship.
So
or not.
I remember we were all just having a great time, right? And I remember like it was great, and then suddenly like the block started slowly falling, slowly, and we're like, could it really be? Could it really? But I was watching you. I was watching you more than I was watching the game. It was crazy because I was like, my man's is really like
got quiet.
Yeah, you suddenly just it became like, like flatline. Mm-hmm. It was like someone died suddenly.
Because I'd seen the movie before.
Right.
I had seen this movie before, but it was a different ending.
Right.
I mean, same ending, but it was just a different producer.
Right. And it was just like, and I was thinking like, you know what I literally was thinking at that point? I don't know. I never told you this. I was literally thinking about my friend who was a Jets fan. And I was like, no way. Like, wow. Like, I felt really bad for you. I really did. Like, it was just not something, seeing the ups and downs you've gone through. Like, it was like, he's finally going to get it. Like, he's finally going to.
Right. I was
happy.
Peak.
It's like, the friend was happy.
Yeah.
Like, you finally going to go. But it was like, oh my God. Like, literally at the last second. And I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop thinking about my Jets fan friend who was like, I was like, wow, this is just history repeating itself. And it's unfortunate, at whose hands it was off of on top of that. But
bro, I almost didn't go to work the next day.
And I literally was like, I wanted to check in on you after we left, because after we left, it was literally coming away. Like, it was leaving a wake.
Bro, it was. It felt that way. Everybody was like, it was quiet.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, thanks for the invite. I'm sorry.
Right. I remember everybody leaving. It was like, they're all giving their condolences for like, your loss, whatever. And I was like, my God, dude.
It was literally a funeral.
And I'm sorry.
I didn't want to go to work the next day, but I was like, all right, you know what? I gotta overcome mentally, and I gotta push through and show up.
And that's the RBA part of it.
Yeah.
Now, let me switch gears really quick on fandoms. Still keeping in line with the emotional part of it, because I posed a question to you recently. Your son loves football.
Yes.
You probably know where I'm going with this.
Yes.
I posed a question to you.
It's the same answer.
And I want to preface this correctly here. Now, Atlanta Falcons, diehard, through and through, all that. And I posed the question like, what if, hypothetical scenario here, situation where D makes it to the league.
Yep.
Right? And that year, number 1 draft pick selected by the New Orleans Saints. And we know that Atlanta and the Saints are like blood enemies in every way possible. Right? I don't think there's a bigger rivalry for Atlanta. It's the Saints, right?
No, if definitely not for Atlanta. It might be, for my argument, it would probably be one of the biggest in sports. The biggest in sports.
So what if Dylan gets drafted by the Saints? And I was like, would you sport your son's jersey to support him?
No.
And especially a team that's paying your bills now, changing his life.
No.
And would you want the Saints to win a chip where your son would be part of that game-winning, whatever, the drive, the running back, touchdown, whatever it is? Would you be there, supporting, sort of cheering and rooting for?
I mean, so obviously, yeah. If
Atlanta
if Atlanta's not involved, I'm gonna be cheering for my son.
Okay, but what if it's the Saints though? And would you rock his jersey? Would you put his name on the back of your, on your back?
No.
Like, yo, that's my son right there.
No. It'll be like all the other family members. The mom does that, right? The mom is the one that wears the jersey with the son's name on the back. So mom could do that. No,
wow.
I'm not wearing a Saints jersey.
Would you show up?
Oh, absolutely. If my son was in the Super Bowl, yeah.
No, just any game. He made it to the league.
Yeah, as long as they're not playing. I mean, I'd give.
So what if they're playing Atlanta?
I'd be in Atlanta jersey.
Wow.
I would be in an Atlanta jersey.
But how would you feel if he scored a game-winning?
I would root for him to get.
What if he scored a game-winning touchdown on the Falcons?
What position is he playing?
Whatever he wants. Running back.
So I'll root for him to have 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, and still lose by 1 point.
But he got to lose, Atlanta.
Though. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's fine. No, I mean, that's
his
just
individual success is what you support.
He'll still have the individual success.
Okay.
But just I'll root for a great game, high-scoring game, right? But I still want my team to win.
Wow.
I mean, depending on how good he is, I could try to pull the old Archie and Eli play, not to get drafted by a certain team.
Wow.
But I don't think that I would ever do that. Like, to see that, it wouldn't even get to that extreme for me, because you know what? If he's the best pick for that team, then let him go there. And I'll root for his individual success, and I'll continue to be a fan of the team that I'm a fan of.
Wow, man. That's wow. Wow.
I mean, why would I change it?
It's your son.
I'm still rooting for my son.
You are, but you don't want him to win, though. Against your team, especially.
Against my team. They could still make the playoffs.
But wow.
Yeah, just that those two games against us, they can't win. I don't care if he can beat up on Tampa, Carolina, any other team that we play. I don't care about them. Yeah, they just can't beat up on us.
Okay.
And if we get eliminated, but he's still in it, and of course I'm gonna root for him.
Wow, you heard that, D?
No, yeah, I'm still gonna root for him in that, but no, I'm not gonna wear a Saints jersey.
Ever. Maybe we can have a bet where if I win, you have to wear a Saints jersey.
Oh my God, no.
No,
I'll never do it.
You won't make the bet? You won't even just make the bet?
I won't even make the bet, because especially if I'm betting on the Falcons, no, hell no.
No, just some other bet off of football. If I win,
it just depends on what the bet is, because I'd have to be real confident that I was going to win.
It's a for sure bet, right?
Because I'm not going to be caught dead.
Definitely not fantasy football?
No, definitely not. When you got 5-star players that put up 2 points.
My God.
Yeah, definitely not.
All right, sir. Well, let's. I think this is a fun conversation, man.
It was. But before you wrap it up, there was one piece of this that I think was important to just kind of circling back on the argument of not getting the emotional connection or not, whatever. So I think for me, I've seen a new perspective of that that maybe doesn't get talked about enough.
Okay.
And it comes from the side of youth sports.
Okay.
And so I've seen that now. This is first year in the program that we're in. And I can see where, like, you've got this group of kids who all just natural human emotion want to be part of this team, part of this program. And so we're cheering for, this program that we're a part of. Now, obviously, it's nothing like a corporation, like an NFL team,
right?
But still, everybody throughout the entire program is cheering for each other. So I had to, one of the games, I had to be the field supervisor, and we had to watch 3 other games of our other weight divisions. Okay. And so D stayed with me and watched all these other games, and it was like, I don't think I know any of these kids. Maybe I saw some of them in the preseason camp. Like, I don't know any of the kids. I know 1 or 2 of the coaches that I've seen around. But it was just like, we're going to root for our program to win, right?
Right.
And cheer for these people that we don't know.
Right.
Right?
Gotcha.
But we're cheering for our program to win because we want our program to make the playoffs.
Sure.
In whatever weight divisions we can.
That makes sense.
Because we want our program to be good, Right. So, like, I've seen that. Like,
so even if the program is with the Saints.
No, we're talking youth football. So, but like, it's that sense of, I think also what I've seen is it being a sense of community too.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, okay, well, maybe beyond football, we want to stay with the same youth club for all other sports, because it's like this whole little community thing, right? And that's how I look at the pro stuff too.
Okay.
Because I've been through, like, I've gone to games where I've met people, whether it's tailgating or before the game, I've met people that I never know. I haven't interacted with some of them since, maybe a few of them here and there. Like literally connected with somebody that I had met on Twitter. You know, this is way back when, going down to that first Falcons game.
You mean X?
Huh? X. Well, yeah, X now. But you know, like he and I a couple times I traveled to Atlanta that I didn't get to go to games because it was the football season was over.
Okay.
Got to go to Hawks games. But he and I have stayed friends ever since. We used to go out to dinner. A couple times we caught some Hawks games. One time he knew somebody who was in charge of the Hawks 6-man section.
Oh, nice.
And there's a whole was a whole section in Phillips Arena back then. There was just Hawks fans, and you would sign up on this like rotating basis. People would sign up, and you get to go for free to the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
They basically comp your ticket, but then you're in the cheering section of like this specific thing, like the cameras are behind or whatever. So like he got me hooked up with that, and him and I went and got to go. I think we saw like Brooklyn or somebody. They might have been the Nets back then.
Yeah.
But got to go like do like so like that sense of community has opened up the pathways to like see and do other things too that weren't quite there, and it's no different than in a couple weeks. Like I'm gonna be looking for some tailgate or other experience to be able to do before the game to go out there, even if it's just walking through and find a random one. It's like we gonna, because it's again,
absolutely, as
long as we wearing the same colors,
right. You're repping the same.
We're repping the same.
Hey,
and,
you know what that sounds
all are
like?
usually welcome.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Training with the competition. That's right.
That's not the same.
That's right. No, but I actually, that's a great point. Sports brings together, common knowledge, right? People, the communities come together. Similarly, Stage 2, right? He got opportunities through his program to meet and network with other folks who are able to hook up or open doors for opportunities based on that program. And you want that program to succeed, obviously. So, but again, though, I will say to that, I don't want to align so heavily into that where you become blinded from other external opportunities that may arise because you get so die hard into it. That's the other side of it, which me as playing devil's advocate here.
Well, so I got a perfect example of that, right? So if we were really that hardcore, and I think that's where there are going to be some who are just hardcore. Let's just put it out.
And there are.
There are some that are just going to be hardcore or whatever. But like when D got the opportunity for his football team to go to the Commanders game, and they got personalized Commanders jerseys, and even when he got the opportunity a few weeks later, that one of his friends invited him to a game because his dad's a team doctor, and he got signatures from the Commanders. Like if we were really like hardcore with it, he wouldn't have wanted that. He would have been like, I'm not getting that. I don't want a Commanders jersey. He did that with the Wizards. Remember?
That's true.
He got a chance to go on the court for the Wizards for one of his friends' birthdays.
That's a good point.
The executive who was managing that hands him a Wizards shirt, and he's like, "No, I'm good. I'm a Hawks fan. Wow. Like I'm good."
And
the executive is like, "Well, I understand, but like if you want to be on the court, you got to wear the shirt." And
so you got to wear the shirt.
So they convinced him to wear the shirt, and as soon as they got back to the tunnel, he took it off and gave it to his friend who's a Wizards fan. So like there's a little bit of the hardcore there, but
sure.
But it didn't stop us from not enjoying that moment and being able to go on the field in a Commanders jersey as a Falcons fan, in a Commanders jersey to play the mascots.
Hey, listen, it wasn't a Saints jersey, right? Wasn't a Saints jersey.
So even in that, I would have been fine because getting on the field to play a game against mascots in an NFL stadium, that's once in a lifetime. So when you talk about blinders like that, I wouldn't have those type of blinders.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not.
So, all right. Well,
some a little bit more like I'm not as extreme on that.
Got it. Okay. No, that's great. And this is the part of sports I love, the community.
Yeah.
So, all right, sir. We good? Anything else we want to add to that?
No, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing your inner self out in this therapy session.
Oh, listen, bro. We might have stumbled upon a new series where we can revisit all of the heartaches.
Oh,
and just going back the last 5 years.
That's a season's worth of episodes.
Oh, like just the last 5 years. There's probably a season's worth, easy.
Oh my god,
of episodes that we could talk about specific games and situations and games that we should have won and then we lost it in the last few seconds.
How many times have I seen
There's been so
video?
many of them. But what I'll be interested in to see is what others who are listening and what their fandom experience is like. Do they take it to the extreme? What I would be really interested in knowing what is the most extreme thing people have done for a fandom of their own team.
Oh my God.
Like that's a good one. We might have to clip this one up for social.
So real quick question. What sport has the most extreme fans? Real quick.
Soccer.
I was going to say the same thing. Soccer,
they
bro.
burn down stadiums,
Yes,
bro.
they kill people. They kill the goalie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Soccer internationals. That's
insane level.
Yeah, not in the U.S. In the U.S., I would say it's probably football.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, well, I guess we'll catch them on the socials then.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys joining us. Remember, Think RBA everywhere, anywhere. With that, peace.